Good evening to you. You're just in time for TV 47 weekend. We've got a lot lined up for you today. Remember, you can interact with us at TV 47 Kenya across all social media platforms. Our sign language interpreter is Minimbesa. I am Muthoni Minor. Now, starting off with just a few days left before the voter registration deadline lapses on 2nd November, low voter turnout is still being witnessed in registration centers across the country, with Kenyans now calling on extension of the exercise. Lavina Otieno with the details.
As of 27th October 2021, only 760,000 Kenyans had been registered as voters, this being less than 50% of IEBC's target of registering 4.5 million voters by the end of this week. Various stakeholders have raised concerns over the time allocated for the voter registration process, which they say is a hindrance towards the achievement of IEBC's target. Westlands Member of Parliament, Tim Wanyonyi, has today received a petition drafted by the Strugglers Movement over the extension of the ongoing voter registration exercise that will come to an end on 2nd November. The petition advocates for the extension of the voter registration exercise because the stipulated time of 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. does not favor students in universities and Kenyans who work during the day.
Parliament, we are going to stand our authority and make sure that they get enough funding and the issues raised by this group can then be addressed. That means that they can extend the voter registration. Essentially, legally, the voter registration is supposed to end by February. So we still have time, and once they get the funding, they can carry on with the registration until the end of February.
When they come at 10 a.m. and leave at 4 p.m., we believe a good number of people, strugglers working at the industrial area, might not have a chance during the week to find time to register. We also address the students in colleges.
Speaking during a meeting with stakeholders, ODM Secretary General Edwin Sifuna has urged IEBC to seek for an additional budget to facilitate civic education as a strategy to do away with misconceptions associated with the voter registration exercise and the 2022 elections.
They don't feel like their votes count. That is the biggest response that I have received from the young people myself. So we continue to urge the IEBC to work on the confidence of Kenyans in the electoral process. If everybody appreciated why it was important to vote, then even if you had a registration exercise of only 2 days, you would actually net everyone who wanted to register. Encourage IEBC to seek a stronger budget or a bigger budget for civic education. People need to understand why.
Lavina Otieno, TV 47.
Thank you, Lavina Otieno, for that report. Now, the Director of Public Prosecutions, Nordin Haji, now says the buck stops with his office when it comes to the war on corruption during his engagement with members of the public under the hashtag Cafe with DPP. Haji said his office van only recommends prosecution, which he says is the discretion of the judiciary. This even as the court barred the Public Service Commission from discussing petition on DPP's removal. It seems to have settled for DPP Nordin Haji, at least for now, as the High Court suspended the PSC from considering 2 petitions seeking the removal of Haji from office pending the hearing and determination of the matter today. The court also issued conservatory orders stopping the DPP's office and Haji from commenting or discussing the matter before the PSC and the High Court in regards to Justice Sankale Olekanta.
Duties and responsibility of all of us are clearly set forth within our constitutional framework. The police charged with investigation and enforcement. There are other constitutionally investigative agencies with specialized mandate, such as EACC. We as the ODPP for prosecuting, the judiciary for adjudicating, the correctional probational services for rehabilitation, reformation, and reintegration.
This comes after the family of slain Dutchman Top Cohen sought the removal of Haji from office, citing mishandling of Cohen's case. Cohen's family also argued that DPP should be sacked due to his handling of the Direct Line Assurance Limited and the Kenya Medical Supplies Agency KEMSA case.
Indeed, the Constitution envisages independent institutions operating in an interdependent manner, in which even when there are tensions, these are healthy and necessary tensions to ensure the wheels of justice roll seamlessly, as each partner understands and plays their role, with the realization that each partner's role is equally important.
Even with all these specs cited on Haji, he still insists he will not be intimidated.
I have served in Somalia fighting Al-Shabaab, and nothing will cover me as much as I know and as long as I know that I'm serving this country. And I assure you that the next DPP, if I do fall at all, will come with more gusto to pick from where I've left. The pen has written, the ink has dried. We will not allow any clawbacks on this constitution.
Now on to political matters, as the One Kenya Alliance has officially launched its nationwide campaigns in Kakamega town, an event attended by the coalition principals. This comes and amid suspicions sparked by revelations of behind-the-scenes negotiations between Wiper and ODM leaders. Violet Auma reports.
The One Kenya Alliance, OKA, today embarked on rigorous campaign tour in Western region in a bid to popularize their party.
OKA is not a closed shop. Haijafungwa. Milango zote zijafungwa. Tunataka kura ya kila mtu. And that is why we are reaching out to other political parties.
Hii safari ambayo tunaenda, you will have only one shot. Yes. Risasi? Risasi ni moja. Yeah. Tusiposhikana chini ya OKA kupata tena takuwa ndoto. Sasa gari ya moshi imetoka. Imeng'oa nanga. The exciting movement called OKA that is going to change the fortunes of this country. That is going to change the fortunes of every individual in this country.
Speaking after a meeting with party delegates in Kakamega County, ANC leader Musalia Mudavadi called on Kenyans to elect leaders but not be coerced by anyone.
We will not, and we must not, and we should never allow anybody to impose leadership on the people of Kenya.
The OKA principals anonymously agreed to support one of the principals to fly One Kenya Alliance flag in the 2022 presidential race.
Usifadhaike na nani atabeba bendera ya OKA. Sisi ni team. Na team ni very strong. Team, nataka niwahakikishie, mimi sioni tukikaa na ndugu Musalia, na ndugu Weta, na ndugu Gideon Moi, na yule ndugu Cyrus Jirongo, na hata wengine tukose kuokoa Kenya. We have done it before.
Yes. That any one of this is as good as the other. Yes. That the strength of a team is not dependent on an individual. It is dependent on teamwork.
They have also urged Parliament to deliberate and allocate more funds to IEBC to facilitate the second phase of voter registration exercise.
Sisi tunaomba bunge la kitaifa la Kenya, ikiwa IEBC wanalalamika hawana pesa za kutosha kufanya second round ya voter registration, mimi nasema huo mswada uje kwa bunge wakati watafungua, wahakikishe kwamba IEBC ina pesa za kutosha wamalize voter registration exercise kwa Wakenya wote.
Other leaders who attended the meeting were optimistic that OKA will provide alternative leadership and improve the country's economy.
Rais wa 5 wa taifa la Kenya ako mbele yenu.
Tulisema tunaomoka na OKA. Tunaomoka na OKA.
Hivyo kwa wale ambao wanadhani tumeshafika na farasi mbili, wangoje, watangoja sana. Sisi tumeinvest miaka 10 kwa Raila Amolo Odinga na hapo haturudi tena.
Sasa principles, kwa bahati mbaya mkiteleza muende huko, hata sisi tutawaacha kwa mataa.
They have pledged to strengthen OCA at grassroots levels as they dismissed allegations that some OCA leaders have been meeting with ODM leader Raila Odinga and Deputy President William Ruto to form political alliances.
Ati huyu anakutana na huyu, yule anakutana na yule. Andikeni Kalonzo na Musalia na Weta na Gideon na Cyrus wako one indivisible team. Yes. And in due course tutawapatia team. Yule ambaye atakuwa ndiye anabeba bendera will be the first among equal. Yani kama hujaona Kenya ikiongozwa na team, jiandae.
The leaders have promised Kenyans that the OCA government will be all inclusive.
2, OCA is united. 3, nobody will divide OCA. But above all, OCA itaingia mashinani kwa watu.
Violet Auma, TV47, Kakamega.
Now, still on political matters, a section of leaders allied to Deputy President William Ruto from Mount Kenya have accused the government of politicizing the criminal justice system. This as Ruto called on his competitors to focus on policies that are beneficial to Kenyans instead of tribal formations. Joash Onsare reports.
Kirinyaga Governor Anne Waiguru is facing an arrest over graft allegations days after she ditched the Jubilee Party for UDA. MPs allied to the UDA party, led by Kandara MP Alice Wahome, have criticized the commission for what she said is targeting leaders allied to the UDA party.
Now EACC has been weaponized to go and arrest Governor Waiguru. We want to tell them that this is not a new trick. It is now a banality. We are used to it.
Tunaambia mama Anne Waiguru, wewe simama ngangari, usitishike, Kang'ata ni wakili, mheshimiwa ni wakili. We shall be there for any of our persons.
Ukiona kina Kemenia, Gavana Kemenia, ukiona yule Gavana wa Nakuru, hao wote wamesupport Raila, si juu ya kupenda, juu ya kutishwa using EACC. Si tunaambia EACC, hata mkitisha Waiguru hatarudi mahali alitoka.
Further, the MPs have warned EACC against being used to settle political scores.
Lakini nataka kuambia EACC, your time and any other government institution, including IEBC, including National Police Service, your time to misbehave is up.
As that unfolds, the Deputy President William Ruto has called on his competitors to focus on politics of policies instead of politics of tribal formations.
Wapange chama ya kitaifa. Hata wanaweza kuunganisha hii kidogo mingi. Watengeneze chama moja kama hii yetu ya UDA. Hawa wa Kenya wanatuambia wale wanaotafuta uongozi wa Kenya wajipange na sera. Kila mtu akuje na mpango yake. Wacha kusumbua watu na story. Kitendawili, sijui tibim, sijui tialala. No. Kila mtu akuje na mpango yake. Kenyans are willing to listen.
The DP was speaking while addressing delegates from Mathioy and Kangema of Murang'a County who paid him a courtesy call at his current residence. According to Ruto, UDA is a national party for all Kenyans.
Our politics will no longer be about your community, the region you come from, the color of your skin, or the religion you profess. That going forward, Kenya is going to build on the firm foundation of a political party that unites the country, not an ethnic outfit.
Joash Onsare, TV47, Nairobi.
Now on to matters health, as in a bid to boost the race towards achieving universal health care in Kenya, the government in partnership with the French government has unveiled a state-of-the-art healthcare equipment worth 90 million Kenya shillings at Gotv Level 5 Hospital. Speaking during the unveiling, Health Principal Secretary Susan Mochache said the government under the universal health coverage has continued to steadily make financial investments in the health sector with an aim of strengthening health systems. Zainab Mohammed reports.
Speaking during her tour at Gotv Level 5 Hospital in Kiambu County, Health Principal Secretary Susan Mochache said the government has embarked on a rigorous increment of workforce in the health sector in order to achieve effective service delivery for patients in the rural areas.
Mradi huu umeweza kusaidia kuhakikisha kwamba kuna hewa ya kutosha katika kaunti hii ya Kiambu, tukitambua sana kwamba kwa sababu iko karibu na mji wa Nairobi, kukiwa na watu wengi ambao wamepata ugonjwa wa corona, Kiambu huwa kati ya kaunti ambazo zinabeba mzigo mkubwa wa ugonjwa huu. Na hata sasa tunajua kwamba COVID bado iko kati yetu, na ni vizuri kujua kwamba kaunti ya Kiambu sasa haina ukosefu wowote wa hewa.
The hospital receiving 12 intensive care unit beds, COVID-19 testing laboratory equipment, x-ray machines, modern waste management machines and built-in oxygen producers.
Provided financial support of 1.5 million euro to help alleviate the impact of the crisis on the most vulnerable population. Beyond COVID, you can count on France to be a long-standing and strong partner in your efforts to impose care for all in Kenya.
Had a lot of challenges in dumping of health waste, so a lot of our patients do not know what happens with the needle that they are injected or with the braid that they are treated with. But eventually, this ends up somewhere, and we are very happy that the current incinerator that you have donated to us will be able to incinerate what otherwise is produced in the county for 5 days. It will incinerate it for 3 days for the whole of the county. And that reduces the contamination and it reduces the pollution that comes with the contamination of medical waste.
Gotv Hospital is one of the 20 health facilities across the country to benefit from the project. The last consignment of the project expected to arrive in the country in November. Zainab Mohammed, 247.
Thank you, Zainab, for that report. Now it's time to take our very fast short break. We will be right back with more. Do stay tuned.
Oh, hi guys. Sorry, you found me 5 minutes before I started recording, but anyway, so most of you have been asking me why I started Lady CLC Nighting with Joy Rongo. I have also had my own share of pain. I know how it feels to want to give up. This is basically here to speak hope and inspire somebody who's going through a rough patch, to tell them that they can turn their pain into power. Our guests are normally here to share their experiences so that you can know somebody else did it, so you can also come out of it stronger and better. Let me go to my recording, and remember to always stay tuned every Saturday at 8:30 p.m.
Undertaking husband duties on a boyfriend tender.
Guys, with bromance, do you share your woman with the bro? Have a sister? Give me your sister. I show you how these things are done. So you go release and be like,
Men supporting each other, not only financially, but also socially.
Don't mingle with women you can't deal with.
Is there really a formula for dating and marriage?
Some men are procreational, some men are recreational.
Every Wednesday on TV47, the Men's Conference brings you a cocktail of top-notch advice to breed alpha males for alpha females in the society.
Tunaweza tumeite nje tutesiwe do. Mimi naitwa Ben. Mimi ndo rafiki ya babako.
Tumeleta dozi zako usimize mtoto.
And now we have to deal with a drug addict.
Yaani uliwa mzai wako. I had to.
Sema! Dozi zangu ziko wapi?
Ben! Tuisheni Uganda.
The road to 2022 is becoming tougher and trickier with each passing day.
Na wawache kuja kutuletea makasiriko.
Political aspirants in a dilemma whether to change allegiance or not.
Nonetheless, you have justified your change of stance.
It's my bloody personal politics.
Tell them this. They could have gone to do law so that they become judges. They do not have the capacity, training, or skill to interpret a court order.
As a journalist, you have also had occasion to actually do some research. Read the judgment of
the nature of our job to have. The question is very specific.
Listen to me.
My question is very specific.
Every Monday at 9:30 p.m., Pundits Night brings you inclusive and candid conversations with the pundits. It just doesn't land on your plate. It takes hard work.
They require highly skilled labor.
Time.
8 months, and that means you have given it a lot of care, a lot of time.
And resources.
I remember I had invested so much in fertilizer, like I just didn't want anything to go wrong.
From a seed, seedling, to a fruit or vegetable, as well as a fertilized egg to a chicken, duck, or turkey. Here at Kilimo Diaries, Sandra Wahito takes us through it all every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. TV47, the home of untold stories.
Welcome back to TV47 Weekend. Now, majority of youth in slum areas form a big chunk of criminal gangs that are involved in all sorts of criminal activities just to make ends meet. Our reporter Boniface Baraze caught up with a group of youth who once engaged in criminal activities at Kipsongo area outskirts of Kitale town in Trans Nzoia County and filed the following report.
These old iron sheet structures erected along smelly trenches is what welcomes us to the Kipsongo informal settlement in the outskirts of Kitale town, Trans Nzoia County. The slum was synonymous with the cases of insecurity, with the roots of many heartless, ruthless, and hardcore criminals stressed back here. We catch up with a group of youth under the banner Kipsongo Youth Umbrella, which is composed of former criminals who have transformed into responsible members of the society. Donning their official regalia, the youth engage in a cleanup exercise that involves collecting all form of garbage by use of wheelbarrows and later burning them.
Any community work. Kuja kuka na hiyo wheelbarrow.
But what propelled them into forming this group in the year 2015?
Tulianzisha hii group kwa sababu hii ni mtaa wa mabanda. Hatuna kazi, maisha iko chini. Na shughuli ilikuwa inaendelea hapa ni shughuli mbaya, kupigana ngeta. Sasa tukaona njia mzuri ni tukuje pamoja kama vijana. Tukue na lengo kama vijana ili tujikomboe na kuchange image ya hii area.
Tulikuwa vijana wabaya sana. Na hata tuko tunapenda kuona mtu na kitu yake. Wakati simu zilitokea ilikuwa ya kwamba ukiona mtu anatembea na simu ilikuwa hiyo ndio kitu yenye unaweza chukua kwa sababu itakusaidia kesho.
While this group embraces youth who have reformed, what other activities do they engage in apart from environmental conservation?
Tulianza na table banking, kama vijana. After table banking ikapik, tukaanza ku give out loans in ourselves. Sisi wenyewe tunaanza kupeshana pesa, at least kila mtu kujikomboa. Shughuli nyingine yenye tunafanya community work, that is garbage collection. Tunazunguka within the area ku clean area, kutoa ile image ya slums.
We visit one of the income generating activities being carried out by the group at Shanti Slums, which is a kilometer away from Kipsongo slum.
Hao ni vijana wamejituma, wamefungua project yao, ameajiri watu kadhaa, kuna saloon, kuna kinyozi, na pia si wote wananyolea hapa, na nashukuru Mungu kwa hiyo.
Wamejaribu kuelimisha vijana jinsi ya kuishi, wameanzisha maendeleo tofauti. Kama hii salon yenye niko ni kijana yule alikuwa mbaya, lakini sasa hii nashukuru Mungu juu amebadilika na anafanya kazi kwa ujumla akielimisha vijana jinsi ya kukaa mtaani.
Apart from the salon and barbershop business, they also own a video showroom just adjacent. Some of the members recall the old days when they belonged to the criminal gangs that used to wreak havoc in the region before they eventually bolted out.
Nimekuwa kitu kama nitasema tu kukuwa mhalifu, na uhalifu wangu ulikuwa ni kama ndio nipate ni kama kwa mnajua maboy, ukikosa kitu na uko na tamaa ya kupata kitu utafanya kitu ambacho akistahili. So nilikuwa natumia kitu kama kutumia njia ya ubavu ndio nipate, but I thank God nikajipata nimejiingiza kwa group. As in size vile niko hivi naongea hivi, niko na video pale Kipsongo, niko na video pale Shanti, whereby nimekuwa nikikopa loan kidogo na najiendeleshea kiasi.
Kiukweli leo ambayo nimesimama hapa si kwa maana mimi nilikuwa mzuri hapo nyuma. Nimekuwa na kitengo tofauti na ambacho kitengo kilikuwa kinaitwa waasi. Whereby tujite majina kwa sababu ya shida. Ilikuwa mtu akitaka kututafuta na tutafuta tutumie vibaya ili sisi tupate kile ya kuweka tumboni. Lakini leo hii kwa sababu ya shida ambazo zimetukuta kabisa, na ili kubadilisha maisha yetu tukajiunga na hiki kikundi ambacho kinajiita Kipsongo Youth Umbrella.
Women here narrate the hardships they endured in the past, with some surviving on prostitution before joining the group.
Nilikuwa najiuza kwa shilingi ya 50 ndio watoto wapate kukula. Juu bwana ana namna anakuja amelewa. Imesababisha hiki kikundi tangia nijiunge nayo. Nimeanza kufanya biashara ya kuuza mahindi, mboga. At least saa hii tukisave te baba wangu naweza kopa loan, nikuja hata niweke stock, biashara ya kujiuza niliwacha. Hata nashukuru Mungu saa hii nilidhani nitakufa ukimwi. Lakini kupitia kwa hiki kundi saa hii nimeenda kujipima sina ukimwi. Imenibadilisha mpaka nimekuwa saa hii nimekuwa mzuri, mwanamke mzuri wa kulinda ndoa na kuchunga watoto.
For now, the group plans to set up hostels on a piece of land they acquired through depositing 250,000 Kenyan shillings, targeting students from the nearby Kitale National Polytechnic.
So ombi langu ninaomba wahisani kuanzia kwa mtukufu Rais Muigai Uhuru Kenyatta na viongozi wengine wa serikalini waje wasimame pamoja na vijana wa kitongoji hiki. Tarehe 30 mwezi huu tuko na harambe hapa Kibusongo Senda ili kutuwezesha ya kwamba tuweze kuraise hii pesa. Na pesa ambayo tunadaiwa hivi sasa na mwenye shamba ni hundi 1.5 million.
Sisi kitu tunaomba kama vijana wa Kipsongo ama vijana wenye tulikuwa wabaya Kipsongo na tumekuja tumeshikana pamoja, tunaomba majirani na marafiki na waheshimiwa wenye wako karibu ya kwamba watusaidie ya kwamba huyu jamaa tuchanganye hii plot, kwa sababu tuko na vision ya hii plot tutakuja kuijenga kwa sababu ya Polytechnical, ya kwamba itusaidie hiyo rent ikikuja tuwe tunaiweka kwa account itusaidie pakubwa.
Residents told TV47 that cases of insecurity have drastically reduced within the slum since the formation of the group.
Kitambo ungeibiwa TV, ukienda kuogo kirudi unapata TV hakuna. Ni kwa sababu anatafuta hiyo kidogo ili aende auze aweze kupata pesa. Lakini sasa ningependa tu kuwashukuru vijana hao kwa sababu ya kuamua kuanzisha kikundi hiki cha Kipsongo Youth Umbrella ambayo kwa sasa imetusaidia sisi kama wakaaji, hatuna wasiwasi kabisa.
The group, which comprises more than 80 youths, also plays a big role in promoting behavior change among the youth in the region.
The move by Kipsongo Youth Umbrella seeks to combat criminal activities within Kipsongo and Shanti slums and assure the locals of secure environment. Bonfas Barasa, TV47, Kipsongo slums in Saboti sub-county, Trans Nzoia County.
Indeed, the power to change your life lies in the simplest of steps, and change is absolutely gorgeous at the very end of it. Now it is time to take yet another short break. We will be right back with more.
Oh, hi guys. Sorry, you found me 5 minutes before I started recording, but anyway, so most of you have been asking me why I started Lady CLC 19 with Joy Rongo. I have also had my own share of pain. I know how it feels to want to give up. This is basically here to speak hope and inspire somebody who's going through a rough patch, to tell them that they can turn their pain into power. Our guests are normally here to share their experiences so that you can know somebody else did it, so you can also come out of it stronger and better. Let me go to my recording, and remember to always stay tuned every Saturday at 8:30 p.m.
Undertaking husband duties on a boyfriend tender.
Guys, with bromance, do you share your woman with the bro?
Have a sister, give me your sister. I show you how these things are done.
So you go release and be like,
Men supporting each other, not only financially, but also socially.
Don't mingle with women you can't deal with.
Is there really a formula for dating and marriage?
Some men are procreational, some men are recreational.
Every Wednesday on TV47, the Men's Conference brings you a cocktail of top-notch advice to breed alpha males for alpha females in the society.
Tunaweza tumeite nje utresi hiyo do.
Of untold stories.
Welcome back. Now, Kenya today received over 900,000 doses of the Pfizer vaccines. The consignment arrived on Friday at JKIA, delivered by the COVAX facility. The donation comes 2 weeks after President Uhuru Kenyatta met with U.S. President Joe Biden, who announced a major new COVID vaccine donation to Africa. During the meeting at the White House, Biden said the U.S. will donate another 17 million doses of the single-shot Johnson & Johnson vaccine to the African Union.
Once they get to the regional stores, they will be then transported to the selected vaccination posts at temperatures of ranging between 2 to 8 degrees, as is common with other vaccines. However, there is a caveat for the Pfizer vaccines, the ones that we are receiving today, that these vaccines cannot be refrozen, and that when stored between 2 to 8 degrees, they must be utilized within a period of 28 days. And therefore, the Ministry of Health is advising county governments to ensure that these vaccines that have been received today, the Pfizer vaccines, are actually deployed to facilities that are able to vaccinate at least 500 people per week, so that we can avoid any situation of wastages. And number two, to remember that the duration of travel from the regional stores, the 5 regional stores that I've just mentioned, should not be more than 7 hours.
Moving on, Chief Justice Martha Koome has expressed her displeasure following former Chief Justice Willie Mutunga's call for the judges and magistrates to down their tools following the executive's disobedience of court orders. Chief Justice Martha Koome has told judges to disregard Mutunga's call for judges to strike. In her statement to newsrooms, CJ Koome recounted how Mutunga resolved disputes within the judiciary diplomatically, wondering how he has forgotten the oath he took to protect the judiciary. Koome has urged Mutunga to join hands in solving the matter amicably without paralyzing services at the judiciary. Moving on, the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, IPOA, has launched an investigation over claims that a senior police officer assaulted a PSV operator in Kangare area, Murang'a County. Mike Kagwongo reports.
Dennis Mogai Kemani, a middle-aged man who is the manager of Namu Sacco at Kankare town, narrates how the OCS allegedly attacked him when he asked him whether he would board the matatu belonging to the Sacco at the bus terminus.
Nilikuwa na shughuli zangu hapa za kubeba abiria kwa roundabout. Nikamuuliza mzee unaenda, akaniuliza shughuli yako ni nini hapa? Nikamjibu mimi ni mhudumu kwa hizi magari zinaitwa za Namu. Akaanza kunivamia. Nikamsikia kidogo, nikamuuliza mzee shida yako ni nini?
According to Mogai, it is at this juncture when the OCS drew his pistol and started hitting him on the face, where he sustained serious injuries on the face, with 2 of his teeth broken and a dislocated jaw.
Kichapo ikazidi sana hadi akatoa bunduki akakauka akaanza kunipiga naye.
Later, the manager was frog-marched to Kankare police station, where he was detained.
Wakati tulikuwa tunaenda huko juu aliniambia yeye hata ana maneno mengi, hata geti yake ni 2. Kuna mimi na kuna huyu mtu mwingine rasi anaitwa Mlima. Nikamuuliza sita zetu si nini? Akasema yeye hataki kujua. Kufika huko hata hakuna kuongea, ni kuita wanapolisi wake na kunichukua fingerprint haraka na akakalia ubie mwenyewe, akaandika vitu zenye aliandika hapo na kuniingiza hapo kwa set.
Anthony Mwagi, manager at the Namu Sacco, then filed a complaint to IPOA, asking them to speed up the investigation to ensure Mogai gets justice.
Ile kitego ya upelelezi ya IPOA tumekuwa naye the whole day, na sisi wanafanya investigations wao wameanza, na sisi tuko na uhakika na imani ati huyu mfanyikazi wetu atafuata haki yake.
Kwa kitengo hiki cha IPOA nimefurahia sana sababu kimekuja kufuatilia hiyo kesi na haki itatendeka.
IPOA chairperson Anne Makori, through a letter, has confirmed the report, saying investigations are ongoing and the rapid response team has been deployed to investigate the matter.
Sasa huko nimestakiwa ati nimepiga mwanapolisi na nimekataa kushikwa na yeye. Hapo ameandika aliita linifosi yake ikanishika, ikanipeleka huko kotini na ati sikuwa na mask.
Mike Kagwongo, TV 47.
Moving on, Turkana residents living by the shores of Lake Turkana are living in fear following the fluctuations of water levels that is threatening the livelihoods of about 500,000 people. Residents, including fishermen and traders, have raised concern over the effects of the swelling lake, with hotels in the area now closed. Mika Kitio with the details.
The rising water level of Lake Turkana, which started last year, has displaced thousands of people along its shores and destroyed properties, submerging beaches, hotels, home and government office.
Maji yamekuwa mengi kupita kiasi. Siku baada ya siku maji yanazidi kuongezeka. Mpaka Saizi imebidi tufunge camp.
Kwa muda wa wiki 3 imesonga kwa mita 500 sasa. Na imetuharibia sasa hivi hakuna kazi. Makastoma walikuwa wanakuja sasa hivi hakuna, hakutokei chochote. Tuko tu imefanya wafanyikazi wetu wengi wameenda nyumbani.
Residents in Kalokol, Longech, Loringak and Namkusi areas are fishermen and they have been forced to relocate as the water level rises.
Maji ndio imejaa zaidi, hakuna ya mvua ambapo imetoka kwa bahari tu inakuja mbali inasonga kama laga. Shughuli yetu ni bahari. Tunahama usiku, tunahama mchana, hakuna venye sisi tunasaidika. So hiyo ndio sisi wenyewe wa hapa mji wa Kalokol tunateseka sana.
Hotel owners here say they have lost millions of shillings after their hotels were submerged in water.
We used to have our exclusive cottages down there. We lost like 7 of them. That's worth something like 5 million. Also, we lost some 2 marine boats worth also 5 million. Now we've been struggling to survive actually. And things have not been that well on us.
The Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry Chairman Pius Eoton urged the Tourism Fund Board to give more funds to the owners of these hotels to boost their business.
And you can see so many businesses have been submerged, especially hotels and restaurants. So as the chairman of Turkana, I'm kindly requesting the minister, Mr. Balala, for tourism, to actually undertake a bit of emergency support to these businesses in terms of finance, so that these businesses can be able to pick up from where they are now.
Kitio Mika Masai, TV47 Kalokol in Turkana County.
Oh, yes, there was a house there. Yes.
Moving on, the stigma or outright rejection of widows is a common occurrence in the country. In Mount Elgon area, Bungoma County, the cases of mistreatment are on the rise, with widows forced out of their matrimonial homes by their in-laws, forcing them to live in abject poverty. This story was produced by Wanji Sustin.
On the slopes of Mount Elgon at Baby Village, Mount Elgon constituency in Bungoma County, we meet Nanjala Simiyu, who is widowed 14 years ago. Nanjala is the mother of 3 children. She says she has been living at the mercy of her father-in-law, but after he died, her brother-in-law turned against her and grabbed her property.
Na mimi mzee wangu alizikwa hapo, ilikuwa 2007. Wakati yeye alikuwa kijana, hata alikuwa hajajenga. Mimi ni mzee wangu yuko mahali pale nimeonesha, na nyumba yangu iko mahali pale, sijaongeza hata mguu moja, lakini yeye anadai ya kwamba niko kwa compound yake. Kwa hivyo sasa alikuwa ananitishia ya kwamba nihame ama atanifanyia kitendo.
The area residents condemned the incident, alleging that their 2 brothers who are humiliating the widow are civil servants.
Kitendo ambacho kilifanyika kwa hiyo mama ni kipaya sana, na wale watu walikuwa wanafanya hiki kitendo ni wafanyikazi wa serikali. Mmoja ni mwalimu, alafu mwingine ni askari AP, ambapo walikuja kumdhulumu huyu mama ambaye amepoteza mzee na ana watoto katika chuo kikuu.
Ama hako, lakini hawezi kuwakao watoto aseme huyu msichana yetu alifiwa na bwana yake na wacha akae. Anawaachilia mtoto ambaye kwa maana hako kwa payroll, anampenda sana kushinda yule yako amezalia huyu watoto. Na huyu watoto ambaye alizaa kwa hiyo boma ndio walikuwa wanasaidia huyu mama.
Affirming the incident, the local administration says that the mistreatment of widows has been on rise in the region and efforts to seek justice for the victims has been fruitless, calling upon the responsible agencies to intervene.
Hii kesi wameandika vizuri, wamefuata kwa kotini, lakini imekuwa rejected on no reasons. So tunaomba kwamba TBB wa Bungoma, Mheshimiwa Kapondi, Madam Catherine Wamilianga, hii nafasi yako, tunaomba kwa hisani, kwa heshima, Joan Growing MCA, tunaomba kwamba muingilie kati kwa hii maneno ili tumalize huu uhasama. Hivi vitu vimefanyika vikirudia, lakini kwa hii incident imekuwa mbaya sana, kwa sababu ni kama tungepoteza mtu. Na kama huyu msichana angekuwa kwa hiyo nyumba, naamini kwamba angekuweko.
Tunaomba tu mheshimiwa wetu ambapo ni Fred Kabond, hebu akuje tu na angalie kitendo kama hiki, kwa sababu niseme hivyo, kuna mwingine pia atadhulumu mjane mwingine, kuna mwingine pia atadhulumu asiyejiweza mwingine, kwa sababu hawa wajane wanawachiwa nani? Watoto wao.
Now on to security matters, as leaders in Laikipia County have called on the government to investigate the cartels that they claim are supplying bandits with bullets and other sophisticated weapons. Our reporter Patronila Goren with the report.
Just 3 days after security officers were shot dead by armed bandits at the Laikipia Nature Conservancy, leaders from the county have expressed their concerns on how the bandits are armed with sophisticated weapons that are causing a nightmare in the area. The leaders want the relevant authorities to urgently look into the matter and solve the unrest.
These bandits are armed, and we must dig deeper to see who resupplies them. How is it that these bandits deep inside LNC seem to be able to get weapons and replenish those weapons as well as ammunition and so on?
Ni ukweli huwezi kuwa ati vijana pale wanafanya uhalifu, wanakula, wako na buduki inapiga risasi inaisha inapata ingine. Ni kumaanisha iko watu fulani pahali wanachangia hiyo maneno, wanachanga pesa, wananunua hizo silaha.
However, they want hundreds of hectares of land in Laikipia West that has been lying idle as a result of absentee land owners to be utilized, saying it is attracting illegal grazers and criminals who are blamed over the current wave of insecurity.
Mashamba ambayo walinunua kupitia zile walikuwa na UDA ushirika ama land buying companies zinanunua shares, wana contribute wazazi wetu na mababu zetu. Sisi tungetaka kuwasihi kama serikali ya county, muje tushirikiane ili yale mashamba yaache kukaa hivyo bure.
Of concern in the county is the unrest witnessed in schools, with leaders urging the education stakeholders in the country to investigate the root cause of the matter.
Unaona hata shule zikichomwa, mzazi na ni mzazi ambaye hana pesa kwa sababu ya hizo shida tumekuwa nazo za COVID, ndiye bado anachukua hiyo gharama. Kwa hivyo wanafunzi wetu watulie, wajue kushoma shule zetu sio suluhu.
Parents have been urged to assist in guiding the students appropriately. Patronila Goren, TV47.
Now it's time to shift the focus to business matters. This as President Uhuru Kenyatta has today presided over the 2021 Annual Taxpayers Day with this year's Taxpayers Month theme dubbed Pamoja Twaweza. The president says the revenue performance is steadily improving following the reopening of the economy and implementation of tax rate reversals that were implemented in January 2021 and the tax measures in the Finance Act 2020. He has urged Kenyans who owe taxes from previous periods to do so in the ongoing voluntary tax disclosure program and benefit from full waiver of interest and penalties.
We are starting to see a steady growth of our revenue performance. The tax rate reversals implemented in January of 2021 and the tax measures in the Finance Act of 2020. I therefore encourage all those who owe taxes from previous periods to demonstrate their patriotism by honoring their obligation. And I urge all of you to take advantage of the ongoing voluntary tax disclosure program.
We want to collect taxes through facilitation, and that is why the whole of this month is allocated to the promotion of that good relationship between KRA and the taxpayers.
We indeed also on this day reflect on the innovative ways of revitalizing tax administration, noting the evolving taxation landscape in the country. That's critical for sustainable economic recovery.